Everyone. Oh, bloody hell. Do you know what? Do you know things runs in threes, right? My big telly just broke down the other day, right? Last week. So I said, I'll have to get a new one. Can't be bothered. It's like cars. You get buy a car, and once it goes, I'm talking about a brand new car. Once it goes, bring it to garage to get fixed. That's it. Get a new one. Just pay it in, get a new one. That's what I did. My telly broke, so bang, new one. So they brought it to them. I paid for a special delivery, you know. I forget how much it was. I paid 35 quid. Pay for that. And the next, he brings it, unpacks it. Okay, put it up. Turns it on, and it wouldn't go on. It was faulty. Basil faulty. Couldn't believe it. I said, that's not a recycled one, is it? You're fobbing me up with it. I said, has that just come from the manufacturers? Right, yeah. Nice lads, They were nice lads. Gave them a little tip. And he went, oh no, yeah. But anyway, it's coming Thursday. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. You put that up, and it doesn't come up, I'm cancelling. I'm going to cancel it right away, like it cancels Argos. What was mad? Darrell, evening Frank, evening Darrell, evening mate. Paul Turner, evening Frank. How's your back? Oh, it's killing me. Sitting here, it's absolutely killing this side here. Tell me right on the side. I was going to do a little bit of a Michael Jackson, shuffle from that, but I thought, better not, the way it's the way it's But anyway, less Michael Jackson, I'm afraid, boys. Lynn Ellis, evening Frank, evening Lynn. Evening Lynn. I forgot to mention the, I don't know whether I didn't. The coach trip last night on the history show. I'm sorry if I didn't. But I'll mention it tonight, by the way. Falsy Frank. Thanks, Dal. Hi, Frank. John Conway. Hi, is John. Asked Jason for a link hours ago. Still nothing. I haven't heard from him, He normally calls me now. He should have sent the link out, Darryl. He should have sent the link out. I can't send them out, you see, because I'm useless, as you know. Steve LFC. How are we, Frank? I'll tell you what. How do you think I feel? How do you think I feel? How do you think I feel? Do you know what, Neil? I was going to comment on that, and honestly, I knew you'd put it up. I knew you would. Average net spend in the Klopp's 9 seasons, 38.4 million. Plus 9, that's the 9 years. 346 million he spent, net spend. Redbirds alone put 533 million for 11% stake. Klopp had to pull the rabbits out of the hat. And that's what I mean. Now he's getting called for everything, Klopp. He should have gone, Should have gone. Should have gone years ago and all this nonsense. And some players are getting some stick as well, especially Diaz. The hate that's coming from. I try to tell people, here in Liverpool, you've got a season ticket, Neil. You get behind the team like I do, behind the players, no matter who they are. I got behind Gapco, criticised him because he was awful, he was lazy, he wouldn't do anything, went missing all the games from last January. Now all of a sudden, to some, he's a world-class player. Could it even happen next season? He could go missing, then they'd be calling him for everything again. Our fans are so fucking fickle. I'm telling you now. Darwin death threats. Do you think it's true? Yeah, Darryl, I do. These are outsiders. This is why in Liverpool, the Liverpool supporters, they shout because they love him. They get behind him, no matter how many sitters he misses. He gives 100% every game. And this is what people can't get there in their heads. They want to see Harvey Elliott's goals every week from every player. That was a one-off by Harvey. He scored a couple of crackers, by the way. I'm not taking anything away. Mo Salah scored the best goals you're ever likely to see. Remember Spurs? Not the last game. Remember Manchester City? Watford? Everton? Any of this crop of players would never do that. He gets criticised. He's been getting criticised every month since he's been back. And now because he has a great game the other day, oh, he has a great game. Well, but still sell him. This is what I can't understand. Sorry, I'm going to go through these people. No, man. Even if Frank, I got your email reply through Jason. Thanks, Jason, too. He's not here. I don't know where he is. So you got my email anyways, didn't you? That's good. Are you happy with that? You're happy with that? The email? Just let me know. Steve LFC, you look all right, to be fair. Thank you. As I said, it runs in threes. I got a terrible haircut. He cut it wrong for the first time in years. I said, what have you done? Anyway, yeah, great fella. Big Red. He's going on, he was talking about the rents. Because he cuts the players there, this fella. And the admins. So it gives me little inside stories. But I can't divulge. Like an MI6 agent. Can't divulge secrets. Paul Burke, good evening, Frank. Up the back on the men's and TV show. Paul just said they brought it today. I was made up. I was sitting there. It's a big telly, you see. And then he unpacked it, put it up. And he went, oh, this is it now. Put it on. It's faulty. It wouldn't go on. It wouldn't go on. So we got to repack it and bring it back. I'm getting it on Thursday. But I just say to them, if it's a faulty, another faulty one, that will be a recycled one. Because they don't come from the manufacturer's broke, faulty. They go through quality control. I said, I'll pay well over £1,000 for this. And he went, yeah, I know. I said, okay. He said, we won't phone them up as well. I said, listen, you know what happened? He says, yeah, we know. We've sent you an email. I said, I know. I said, listen, I don't want another faulty one. I said, if I get another faulty one, I just won't send it back. I'll sue you. No, it'll be okay. Honestly, it will. It's okay. Thanks, Paul, for asking. There he is. Stick Nunez getting well out of order, not fans. This lot, Paisley used to say, as long as he's getting his chance, things will come. That's what I keep saying. I said it the other night, I think. He gets in the right positions. How many other players do that? He's so quick. So quick, Paul. Spot on, mate. Thank you. So quick. Neil Broderick. Nunez embodies what a fan wants. Edge of your seat stuff. That's a cracker, that. It's like watching a thriller, isn't it? Isn't it, Neil? Like watching a thriller. Disgusting death threat, says Norman. The boy tries his best, yes. Yes, people can question his quality, but not his effort. Excellent stuff. Thank you. I bet all those so-called fans sending threats to Darwin have never been to a match in their life. Yes. Yes. 110%. Or never been to Anfield in their lives. That's what I go mad at. They try to tell us what's good for us. What's good for us. Francine came today. And you know I can't. I'm very. It's very awkward for me to get to a game now. The time I went was the Southampton game, and it really killed me. Anyway, she came in. She said, "What did you think of the Reds?" I went, "When we went 4-0 up." I said, "And we made them substitutions." And she went, "Did you go to the game?" I said, "You know quite well. I never went to the game." She said, "Well, shut up then." I went, "Oh, okay." That's got me totally. Hello,
how you doing then, bro?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay, bro. I'm okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Looks like only me and you tonight, I'm afraid. Unless George, did George say that he's going to come on later on or something?
I think he said a little bit later. I think he said
Yeah.
that the other day, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Evening, TW. Paul Turner.
We love him, don't we? George.
Oh, he's a top guy. You know, he paid for Liverpool. What else do you need to know, you know?
But let's say, you know, he's a Shankly boy.
Yep.
A Shankly boy. He knows Bill Shankly. Shankly's spoken to him. Shankly's coached him. Shankly. Not many people can say that, can they?
There you go.
On pods, I'm talking about.
Yep. You know. Then with Paisley, he would have known that era.
Oh, yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah. TW, evening Frank, evening T. Some reporters were saying that Darwin stormed down the tunnel after the game, says Paul Turner.
Well, when he came onto the pitch, he was getting hugs and everything off Jurgen. So, what's happened there then?
Yeah. God knows. See, there's only one player in the tenure of Liverpool Football Club that Klopp wouldn't stand any nonsense, and that was Sacco. Remember when he was acting soft, going behind him and doing all that, acting stupid, and he just went, laughed it off and said, "Go away." Did his interview, and he went, "That's to Sacco. Get on the plane. You're going home. You're not playing for Liverpool anymore." So he can be ruthless. But I don't think he was with them, both Salah and Darwin.
I think that was a focal point in Klopp's sort of start to his Liverpool career with that happened to Sacco. I think it was a good thing. I think Klopp likes to have a good laugh, don't get me wrong, but maybe he was sort of winding them up a lot, Sacco, and thought, fuck this, none of this. And I thought he sort of set the trait of Liverpool. I don't think Klopp likes people messing with him, like Edwards and Sacco. Edwards and Sacco, two people who have tried to mess with Klopp at Liverpool.
I know.
Hence why their relationships haven't been sort of good.
No, as I said, I was getting my hair cut yesterday, and the word hate came into it. Hate that came into it. And I don't use hate in my vocabulary when I'm talking about anybody. And but that came into the thing. I never said it, I was just saying about Klopp and Edwards. That's what came into the equation. Norman says, "Made up, Frank, can't wait." Listen, Norman, if I'm really bad, honestly, what I'll do, I'll ask George when you see him to bring you down to mine, and I'll come and see. You can come and see me at my home. Show you the copy. Sitting behind the goal in the cup. Neil brother, have you had your lead? Yeah. Bad joke there. Steve LFC. Nice slick back hair, flat. I thought that was black hair. Nothing wrong with the Ronnie Clay look, but the glasses included. Thanks very much. Ronnie Clay. Blimey, narcissistic maniacs, those. When I had hair in the early 90s, I used to get my hair cut at the Breck Road before queuing to get in the cup. You want to go back there to see if there's any left on the floor there? No. Probably, not really. Just go through these. I think your hair looks well slick, Frank. Sex bomb line. So he's always offside though. He's that quick. Yeah, do you know what? He was getting it right until the last few games. He was getting it right, and I mentioned that on the show. And he's just a little bit too quick, but I think he will. I think he'll master it. They're only tweaks. I've got an old Matsui 18-inch you can have for 500 quid, no remote. 18-inch Matsui. No remote. I've got a 65-inch. The sound goes on. Look at it. 80 years old. With remotes. What for you are? George said, "Hi Frank, Mo is and always has been the most professional of players and a decent man," I said. "The greatest problem he faces is too much international football. Let's not forget he has played AFCON 2 years, yes. And he's still our leading goal scorer. He's just broke another record, hasn't he, on Sunday? Against Spurs with that header. He's overtaken Fowler and a lot of them. That's how good he is. If Nunez is getting death threats, United squad needs execute." I hate it. Evening, JK.
Evening, man.
Paul Turner. Evening, JK. Hope you're good. Hope you're okay today.
All good, bro. Hope you are.
Norman says, "Des Lynam always liked him. He has always had a soft spot for Liverpool. You look like him, Frank. A little sophisticated, talented man."
Do you remember back in the day when I first got to know you and stuff? I was like, "You remind me of Des Lynam."
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. And do you know what? If you've seen our Gerrard, he doesn't half look like him.
Yeah.
And they used to call him Lynam. When he used to go into a pub, "All right, Lynam." That's what they used to say. Lynam. Des Lynam. Doesn't half look like him.
What happened to him, actually, Des Lynam?
He left the BBC, went to ITV, then all of a sudden he just faded out.
Yeah.
And he was a good front man.
Oh, he was top. Yeah. Top. Then there was Elton Welsby, is it?
Elton Welsby, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know when we played San Etienne? I gets home from the game and I goes in and I wasn't on the telly then. If you know what I mean. You know the way you can switch it right on and get on YouTube, get the highlight. But I switched the radio on, and it was Radio City, and give a little bit of news. Then I went and Liverpool, beat San Etienne 1-0. Elton Elsby,
Well, yeah.
Elton and you know what? His commentary was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when David Fairclough's? And even thinking about it now gives me full of goosebumps.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, JK. Unbelievable. And do you know
Football,
what?
yeah.
Go on.
No, I was going to say football in the older days, it sort of meant something, the commentary, the way the shows were introduced and stuff. Like you had like John Motson, you had the other guy, Barry Davies, Clive Tilsley, For me, Clive Tilsley should have been more involved in the Premier League era within
Yeah.
commentary. Like I've never really seen him commentate on games
No.
within the Premier League. Waste of
See,
talent there.
well, they pick their own people who think that they're going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain clubs, and shall I say, for Sky, they'll be good for them rather than good for you and me. That's what Sky's all about. They look after themselves first and
Yeah.
pick the right people.
In the old days, when it was John Motson and Barry Davies, Clive Tilsley coming into the scene as the new commentator, it was like big uproar. Like, yo, who's
Yeah.
this guy? Is he good enough? It was like, that's how big commentating was in them days. And then we learned like Tilsley was like a top commentator.
But when I got home from Istanbul, the next day, and everything was going on, and anyway, Sky Sports has it on, and it was the build up for the homecoming, and they showed you a little bit of it wasn't Skies or anything like that. It was a commentary, whatever station it was at the time, and no, not Elton Wellesby. Who did you say before?
Alton Wellesby, no?
No, not Elton Wellesby. God blimey, what's his name?
Clive Tilsley.
Clyde Tilsley.
Yeah.
Clyde Tilsley. And his commentary was on. And all you see is, like Steven Gerrard, going up to get the cup. And he lifts it up. And his comment has resonated with me for all these years. And he said, when he lifted it up and he went, and it's for keeps.
Mm-hmm.
The cup.
Yeah.
And it was for keeps. That was brilliant, that. No one else said it, only him. Let's go through some of these. Soul Boy. I went to the Spurs game with all the L postcards, Frank, and the atmosphere was great, proper fans, not like the corporates, what you said, where they don't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I think we know about it, don't we? We just know. Chris Dick, Soulboy Fran for me, Darwin has a huge advantage on scarce defences, but probably better playing from the left wing and then coming inside to shoot or pass, and, rather than the centre forward, where I prefer Diogo. Well, there's a little play on words there, isn't it? Diogo. Diogo.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I was listening to a pod, and that's what they were saying, and crossing of a ball, we've got no one in there. I was going to comment like, well, okay, you put two wingers on the air, the wing that can cross the ball, but as they're crossing the ball, following the flight of it, run into the area, and maybe they can head it as well. Some stupid comments, I couldn't believe it. But anyway, that's the way it is. unfortunately. Was watching the podcast about Thomas Gravesen. What funny man. Mad as a hatter. Oh, that's that fella, isn't it? Yeah, Gravesen played for Everton.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant, Frank. That would be brilliant. All right, Norman. That's about coming down to see me. You look like the Dolmio man. Oh, behave yourself. My old wig's on the floor. That's that. I personally feel Darwin will leave in the summer, says Darrell. I don't know, you know. I'm going to ask you all, would you like to see him go? Dickie Davis. Do you ever remember Dickie Davis, JK?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know what? Benny Hill
Yeah.
did a sketch on him, you know, with the wig on and everything, their moustache.
Mm-hmm.
Not that funny. And he had the girls coming over, you know, with the with the pieces of paper, because that's what happens during his while he was commenting, you know, on his TV show. I'm talking about Dickie Davis here, you know, his like sports program. Girls going over and handing them papers, but these girls were coming over and bending down. You should have seen the face on Benny Hill as Dickie Davis. You know, little cheeky smiles and eyes, you know, rolling eyes. Yeah, there's no for you there, JK. JK won an award, Mr. Invisible Streamer, Mr. Invisible.
Can't see the award then, can I?
Chris says, Steve LFC, there are some ignorant Liverpool fans. There are also pretenders from rival clubs who go on F-fan channels. And, yeah.
Of course, a lot of... I can't really see in true Liverpool fans going after Darwin Nunez, you know.
No.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
No, but there are. I'm not talking about Scousers, by the way. But there are fans going after him. And Diaz, the hate Diaz has got, it's shocking.
No, how can you hate, dislike, hating your own player? I would never understand that sort of mindset.
That's what I mean. You get behind them.
You get behind him, no matter what. That's what you
do.
You
criticise them. By all means, criticise.
Yeah.
You don't hate them. You don't come out and say, I hate them.
It's the energy, hate and stuff, and disliking and moaning all the time. It's not going to do the team any favours, you know.
No.
Positivity wins. The Istanbul final for me was the pinnacle to show us that, you know. So yeah, this new breed of football players, football fans moaning 24/7s. It's a bit of like it's like the coronavirus, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw boy Frank, did you see Billy Butler's mate Wally passed the other day? Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. Wally. I knew Wally myself. Nice fella. Nice fella was Wally. Big Red as well. I always remember him saying when Kenny walked away, you know, he had enough. Right after Hillsborough. After the Everton game it was, 4-4 game. And then there was like 6 months later, there was talk of him coming back. And he said, I'd go up for him and bring him, I'd give him a piggyback. I forget where he was. He said, I'll bring him back on me back to Anfield. I'll walk with him. That's what he thought of Kenny. That's how passionate he was. David Fairclough hated being called Super Sub. Yeah, he did. He did have another nickname called the Bionic Carrot. Yeah, that was after the Bionic Man. Because he had red hair, the Bionic Carrot. You couldn't make these nicknames up, could you? You just couldn't. Yeah, David Coleman was good. His commentary in the FA Cup final was brilliant. Goals paid the rent, and Keegan pays his share. That was a cracker. That was a cracker, wasn't it? What was it? Keegan 2, Highway 1, Newcastle. What was it? Keegan 2, Highway 1, Newcastle United, none. There was a little bit more to it. There's a little bit more to it. That's how it ended, you know. Especially with Highway 1, Newcastle, none. You know, brilliant. George Shet, Moore with 18 league goals from 25 starts, gets stick, and the media and fans look for negative headlines. He had the longest time off in his career, pressure from Egypt, Ramadan. He needed time. Well said. Well said. I'm a bit more old-fashioned. I loved European soccer, especially on Radio 2 with Peter Jones. Yeah, Peter Jones was good. The theme tune was great. Yeah, you're right, George. It's all fair, Clough. Frank, it's Kieran. Elton Wellesby. Kieran. Right. Elton Wellesby is a blue from St. Helens, yeah. So is Mike Hughes, Radio Merseyside. But you don't see any biasness. He's a cracking fella, Mike. I know Mike. Cracking fella. And he's a blue. Used to get me tickets for Liverpool. George said, I remember the Radio 2 second half commentary with Peter Jones and Alan Parry. Great memories. Yes. Daryl Merry, that's up to the supporters to make it known to Darwin that he is loved. I don't think Chris, he knows he's loved. He knows he's loved by the Anfield crowd. And the lads who go away, Liverpool lads, Scousers, they get on the coaches, thousands go, you know, not just a little coach load, thousands go. And you hear them behind the team. You hear them behind the players. That's why Nunez just runs over to them, whether he scores or not. TW, keep Darwin for me. And Norman says, I seen that Benny Hill as Dickie Davis, Wales Sports used to be on Saturday afternoons at wrestling Big Daddy and Giant Easter. Sounds off. Giant Easter. Les Kellett. Oh, Blimey, we are scraping the battle. There, you know, with them. Frank, remember the teleprinter when the scores were coming in? It used to stop waiting for the next score, yeah. Beautiful memories. Dawn says again, Frank, you don't have to say that. I know you are caring. You don't have to, unless you dressed up as Dawn. That'll be another thing, won't it? Elton Wellesby was great, like Brian Moore on commentary when it was ITV. Elton Wellesby is from St. Helens and a top. You said that. No, that. Elton. And God bless his name's gone again on me. Clive Tilsley. Clive Tilsley's a Manchester United fan. Did you know that? I knew that. Peter Jones' comedy was great, says TW. We used to commentate with Alan Green on the radio. Who used to commentate with Alan Green on the radio? I don't know, because mostly I was at the games. I don't know, I was there. Going back like that. Paul Turner. Keegan 2, Highway 1, Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1. Thank you. Paul Turner, get in there. I love it. I think there was something missing. I think there was David Coleman. I think there was something missing. And he brought the thing out, by the way, about Tommy Smith. When he said, they say here in Liverpool that Tommy Smith wasn't born. He was quarried. Absolutely magical. Oh, that's great, Paul. That. Thank you. Thank you. That's a bit. Keegan 2, Highway 1, Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1. Now say that, during a live commentary.
Mad.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. One thing I am thankful for is that Richard Keys and Andy Gray got the boot. Well, all the Evertonians started to hate Andy Gray. I was watching the highlights after the Olympiacos game when Steven Gerrard scored. They showed the highlights, didn't they? Like at 10 or whatever. But I was in the pub. And it was all quiet, and the match was on because we all wanted to see it. And when he went like that, what a goal, son! What a goal, son!
What a hit, yeah.
Yeah. What a hit! What a goal, son! What a... The Evertonians hated him. He became on the...
Mad.
8 francs and Kendo Nagasaki. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that... 8 francs, you know what Kendo Nagasaki means? Stick of Nagasaki, because Nagasaki is a city, as you know, and Kendo means stick. So I'm going to ask you all, you lovely people, I'll just go through these, ask you a question, I'll go straight over to my fellow Red. Remember as a kid watching the World of Sport, and remember behind Dickie Davis there used to be other people sitting by their own screens, two blokes with fun. Those are the days, eh? Never forget, Gerald Sinstad saying the party's over when Forrest knocked us out. Yeah, the party's over. No, they played the song as well, remember? The party's over. That was Granada Reports, that. They played it. It wasn't Gerald. It was Granada Reports. And I wouldn't watch Granada Reports after that, but they used to get in touch with me to do some historical things, for Granada Report. A guy named Tony Bonner always used to interview me. I don't watch it, I don't know whether he's still there or what. One of the lads mentions Alan Green. He used to sit with Jimmy Armfield and Dennis Law. I worked with Green's cousin. He was a massive Red, and he told me Alan was too. And remember Superman when he said he was going? Yeah, I remember that. He was going to destroy us. Yeah. Emlyn Tomo and Tony Smith up against them. Yes, remember that. So listen, lads. Would you keep Nunez? That's a very important question. Because loads are saying sell him, sell him, sell him. Like Salah, sell him, sell him, sell him. What do you think, JK, about Salah and about Nunez?
Well, I've always supported Darwin. I liked his cheeky smile and stuff, his personality around the training ground, and I liked his energy. And we've seen bits and bobs from him, what he can do. But with injuries and maybe just settling into Liverpool. You know, he came from South America, went to Portugal, Portuguese, Spanish-speaking country, and with nice weather, then ends up in Liverpool where it is colder, for example. And it has an effect on people. And it's took like he's been here with us 2 years now. And before his injury, he started that journey of being a top player for us. Since that injury, something's gone on, and it's got him deleting his own Liverpool info on Instagram and stuff like that. You know, like what is going on with this world? Like the guy for me is fire. He's not everyone's cup of tea. Don't get me wrong, but come on. He knows how to score goals. He needs a bit of Harry Kane in him. That concentration, you know, I think he lacks that concentration. And he will try crazy things in the game. But all in all, I'm sort of impressed with his attitude, how he's been with us. He's not really made any trouble off the pitch. And he's tried to settle into a team, you know. He's even improved his all-round gameplay, you know. He kept on, like, back in the days, he would get the ball and try something himself. Like, now then he slowly started getting Salah in, doing 1-2s with him, this, that, and the other and stuff. So he's tried to learn that side of the game as well. He hasn't been selfish, you know. But for me, something just went weird in the last few months with him. But I want him to stay, no problem. Him and Salah, you know. Are you going to replace them with them two guys?
No, I'd keep him. 100%. I'd keep him. Because he's something different. He's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And if he can just calm himself in front of goal, we can criticise him. That's the thing. We can criticise Darwin simply because he misses too many chances. Then you think of the goals that he had scored. Unbelievable goals at the beginning of the season. Newcastle. And Newcastle was supposed to be the team that's going to take the league, remember?
Yeah.
And we went up there. St. James's Park. And 2 goals. Getting beat 1-0. Yep. Down to 10 men. And Darwin scored 2. 2 brilliant goals. But that all forget. They forget all that. They forget all that. They forget that. And that's what I mean. I don't care what anyone says. Liverpool didn't overachieve. This is what's coming out now. Oh, Liverpool overachieved. No, they didn't.
No, we didn't.
I know we didn't. Because they're making up excuses. We overachieved? No, we didn't. We were fighting for the league. We were fighting for the Euro Cup. We were fighting for the FA Cup. How did we overachieve? Because we got beat.
That just covers all.
We're still fighting for the league.
Nah, man, because the owners, they didn't give us a DM, bro. Give me a fit DM with Endo in them last 2 months, we would have beat them, won in them games. So now they're trying to say we overachieved. Look how, like, come on. Simple fact, Klopp didn't get 2 DMs to run in 4 competitions. Simple facts. He's trying to use McAllister, probably one of the most talented players within our squad with the ball, trying to turn him into a DM. Come on. Why should Jurgen Klopp in his last season at the club have to put Ali McAllister in to do that? Like, for me, that is the owner's fault, not giving him the funds to get that DM in. And I've seen fans dissing Klopp in the last few weeks. There you go. That's why we wanted him gone 2 years ago. Not saying to him, we did not sign a world-class DM in the last 2 years to give Klopp a chance to win anything. Thank you. Bye-bye. Simple. I don't want to hear anything about this topic anymore.
That's why you have to bring in a cheap option, which was Enzo, and it seemed to work. And he had to go, didn't he, to the South Asian games?
Yeah, and he hasn't been right ever since he got injured as well.
No, No. Yeah, there's something for you. Do you think, says Kieran, do you think Roy Evans would have won the title in 95-6 if we didn't have David James in goal that season? Also, do you think the club forced him out with Houllier coming in? Point is with David James, he did make. Remember, he used to play video games. He was never off them, and he used to be late for training as well. He was just transfixed with video games, and he got like cramps in his thumbs or something. Whatever, I don't know. And it was affecting his game. Yeah. If you'd have put the equivalent of Ray Clements or Ali in goal, even Brucey in goal, we was a wonder. We was a wonder. That title. Because we had some great players in that side. We had some brilliant players. When you look at the Jamie Redknapp, one of the most cultured players, midfielders you're ever likely to see. Robbie Fowler. Wow. Steve McManaman. Unbelievable. I'm not mentioning Jason McAteer, please. Don't mention it. So, we did have great players, and we could have won the league with Roy. The unfortunate thing was he was too nice. Roy Evans was too nice. I've been on the telly with him, me and Roy, talking about Liverpool and that. But he was such a lovely person. And he was a boot room lad. He knew Shankly. He knew Bob. He knew Fagan. He knew Kenny. He knew everyone. So you expected him to come in. But at the time, even, I hate saying this, but we knew that he was weak. And once you get that feeling of weakness, that's the end. Now, when they brought in Houllier, he wasn't going to share. He felt a little bit humiliated and he just walked away. But he still remained at the club. He just walked away. Still remains at Liverpool. He's Liverpool through and through. And he remains with us. And when you look at this George, there's my mate, there's our mate here. It's the wonderful man. There he is, look. Look, he's fallen all over the place, JK. He's drunk. He just fell over the chair. Oh, this is shocking, this. Shall we bring him on? Look, he's laughing his head off. Where's George?
I'm drunk with excitement for joining you two.
Evening,
Hi,
George.
hi, JK. Good to see you, boys.
Good to see you.
Sorry,
How you are?
late.
We're just discussing there, George. We're just discussing. And it's this Kieran lad, and he said, do you think Roy Evans would have won the title in 95-6 if we didn't have David James in goal that season? Also, do you think the club forced them out with Houllier coming in?
I think in the end he went because Houllier came in and was the dominant partner in the partnership.
He
I
was
think
the
it
dominant,
came that way. Roy was a lovely man. He is a lovely man, to be honest, And I think he was quite friendly with the players, and it was very difficult for him to assert his authority. I think that was the main problem. He was a wonderful servant to the club, and they did well for a bit, and then all of a sudden they split the separate ways. And Houllier was, as I said, the stronger partner really, and Roy moved out.
Well, the thing is as well, when Houllier came, I wasn't made up, but he'd just been with the French national side as a top consultant, and they just won the World Cup, as I remember. And when he had said, yeah, why not? And when he came in, he did well in 2001.
Did.
And then after 2001, when he mentioned, and he said, I think I think we could have gone after Zidane, and he was French as well, with Gerrard being French. And he said, "No, we don't need Zidane. We've got our own Zidane, Danny Murphy." That put me off. That was it.
Strange comparison. Yeah.
So how's Gerrard?
I tell you what, though, I remember that game against Alaves. Was it Alaves over in
Alaves,
when? It was
golden
fantastic.
goal.
Yeah, it was there. Oh, what a game! Oh.
You was there, yeah?
Yeah, me and Gavin. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
So
Good
you were
day, yeah. Good day.
Unbelievable.
Very nice.
So when you survived, I was in the pub with our kids. And honestly, when that ball went in and you see them all jumping about, we thought they're going to kick off and it's like 5-4 now. We didn't know it was a golden goal because you're listening to the TV. And you can't hear anything. No one knew anything about a golden goal. They're all busy going up to
That's
the bar.
right, golden goal, yeah. Yeah, I know, remember. So exciting, so nerve-wracking. Robbie Fowler, brilliant.
The goals were fantastic.
Yeah.
The goals were fantastic. Well, 8 francs. He says, hang on. He says, for the right price with a decent replacement sorted, sell him immediately. That's, I think, Darwin. It could either, no, I don't think it's Salah. I don't know whether he means Salah or
yeah.
I think Darwin.
Yeah. I wouldn't, so I'd keep him.
I wouldn't sell any of them.
No, I wouldn't be so. George Seth says Darwin's number at 24 are better than Zlatan Ibrahimovic at the same age. I say keep him. I would have loved that Ibrahimovic when he was younger. He was brilliant.
He was arrogant, wasn't he? Arrogant and confident. Strutted about like a peacock.
Oh, very arrogant. Very. He missed the sitter against
well.
It was in a Champions League game. And he was through. It's when we beat them down here, 2-1. Carlyle scored at Anfield. We beat them 2-1. Sammy Upia and Luis Garcia. And then we went over there and we kept them out. And we went through on a 0-0. And, you've got to give those players the due. He all went over, he shake our hands. The AC Milan crowds were absolutely stupendous to us.
Yeah.
As well. Just like the Inter crowd, when Torres scored that goal, they gave us like a standing ovation.
Yeah.
So, and the Italians get called for everything. It's unfair. You've got hooligans everywhere. I'm not wanting them to leave. This is Norman. I'm wanting them to improve. In fact, the only players who definitely should be leaving are Thiago and Matip. I don't particularly want anyone else to leave.
Adrian, maybe.
Yeah. What about you, JK, before I go to George?
Yeah, them two. You can't really say, like Tsimikas. Does he want to stay any longer? Like there's rumours Gomez might want to leave. So we're in that sort of phase now where there's going to be stories every day. Like now, just within the last weeks or so, Salah, after the thing with Klopp, he wants to go. Darwin now wants to leave. So it's just madness, but the news that comes out, But for me, Thiago, Matip are the two who get paid pretty well, so their wages are pretty high and stuff. So if them two leave and we replace them with another centre back, actually we need 2 more centre backs. Then I would say a DM, and do we need another attacker? So, but for me, DMs, that's what I really, really want to see is 2 top DMs come in, Because Endo, I don't know what's going to happen with him as well. But Matip, I think his time's over with us, and so is Thiago's.
Yeah, you've got a mixed bag of keep and sell. You have, they've got their own opinions about our players. The one thing I want to say, the season hasn't bloody well finished. And they're going on, we want this, we want that. You know what I mean? And that's wrong. You should be getting behind the team.
Yeah. Get the next 2 games.
Exactly.
Aston Villa and Wolves. Get them out of the way. Then we can get on with all this other stuff.
Exactly. It's as simple as that. And
this whole news has upset us. It took us off the title charge, 100%.
I agree.
Klopp news, Edwards, this, that, every day Edwards news, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, yo, we still got a season left. We got games left. We need to win these,
Too much off-field chat. Too much off-field chatter. We want to get on with the game and win the games and let Klopp go out on a high.
Yeah, but the owners are brilliant, George. The owners are brilliant. Timing. Look at their timing. Absolutely perfect. They messed up our title charge. Yeah. They did that by not giving us a DM and telling Klopp to bring the news out there, and then them 2 moves there have upset us a lot. But no one really wants to talk about that, though,
I reckon if we had got Andre last summer, I wanted him last summer, and there was no clause, it was just buy him.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't pay.
Where did he go? Did he go anywhere, Frank? Andre?
No.
He's still up in Brazil.
Yeah, and in the January, we thought that he was going to get him in the January, which would have been ideal as well. But they wouldn't give him the money.
I'll tell you who I'd like to see here next year, definitely. I'd like to see that lad from Crystal Palace, Elise.
Yeah.
That guy that tore United apart last night, he's a great player.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
But then again, you've got to ask yourself, will this lot pay the money?
Well, if they've got ambition, that's what you've got to do. You've got to get the best, haven't you? He looks to me like the best in the Premier League, potentially, at the moment.
Says it all the time. And saw you on another chat, Frank. Some wild takes or what? Absolutely. That's what I was going on about before. The hate that was coming out for some players was horrible.
Well, what about one of the pods? On one of the pods?
Yeah, one of the pods, yeah. Oh, it was shocking, And I was just going like that, just that. And then the famous stats came out,
Oh. I don't understand any of that, to be honest.
But there was one fella, and he was a cracking little comment, and no one mentioned it. But I seen it. I wouldn't comment, you see. I only commented a couple of times to tell them I'm here. And he said, F the stats. He said, I want to see what's in front of me playing. They're my stats.
That's mine as well.
He was so spot on.
I don't know what the hell. I mean, stats mean nothing. They can change all the time. I mean, you got to watch the players perform.
Yeah, what it is though, George, as well. Basic stats are enough for me. I think these guys go too much into the depth. Like, how many times has he touched the ball? Them sort of ones. Foul success. Yeah, they're okay stats to go by, But all in all, it has to be the eye thing. And I think that's why they sort of Klopp's leaving as well, because he's old school type of manager, and they want I wouldn't say a yes man, but they want a guy who don't talk as much and because we don't know what Klopp says behind the scenes to these guys. He might be saying to them.
I think it all comes from America. All the stats of American football, the data, this data, that number of touches, number of yards. Yeah. Touchdowns, we never used to have that in football. We got out and we played the game. Manager watched the game. You decided you did tactics before the game. You trained and you were coached, and you went out and you expressed your talent. And all this, how many times you touched the ball and all the rest. If you give 100%, like little Elliot did on the other day, you give 100%, you cover every blade of grass, and you use. Bob Paisley used to say, and Shankly used to say as well, let the fancy Dans do everything in the middle of the pitch, but the talented boys, let them do it in the box. You know, the guys with the skill like Rush and Fowler and Torres and Suarez, they're the guys who wins the games for you. Not to do with stats.
Exactly. And as I said, that lad said, I want to see what's in front of me, never mind the stats. Because you can get stats and saying that a certain player does this, a certain player does that, but it wouldn't, you know, it doesn't mean to say that he's going to be great playing for Liverpool. And this is what I can't make out. I really can't make out. And these
you need a certain amount of data, but you know, it shouldn't take over.
Yeah. Norman says, evening, Joe.
Hi, Norman.
Paul saying, evening, Joe.
Hi, Paul. Nice to hear from you.
Oh, there's our lovely Dorothy. She says, great fellow, Roy, and was always great with the fans when he was a player. I used to watch him playing in the reserves a lot. Very nice guy, says Tom.
Yeah. Roy Evans.
Nice.
Well, Shankly noted his talent for coaching, and he became a coach very young. He was only about 26, I think, when he became a coach.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a very young man, wasn't it? I think it was an injury that put him in the boot room, wasn't it, really? He said, come and join us.
He was a bit like me. I think his path to the top was blocked by the brilliant players in the team, and, you know, the fact that they hardly ever changed the team.
Well, I'm just going to go through these, lads, please, if I might. Evening, Joe, says CW.
Evening.
Right, just let me go through them. I was in Dortmund in 2001. Eric Meyer was in the crowd, says Norman. Eric Meyer, remember him? Zidane Murphy, when he plays at Old Trafford. Yeah, he scored some against that, and even against Everton. Some
free kick.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
he was a good player.
Oh, he kept giving the ball away. You know, he just good thing, give the ball away. Anyway, that's what I remember them. I mean, Darwin at 24 with his energy will be okay and probably get better with a bit of encouragement, but not with 15 minutes game time left. Mo rates Darwin, and I would play Mo a bit deeper and creative. Do you think that's a good shout by George?
I'm not so sure I played Mo too deep because he's not quite a striker. He's a winger that scores goals and lays a lot of goals on. I think I like seeing Mo playing like he played on Sunday, up front on the right.
I always remember when Roger, you know, you could see that he was slow enough. And Shanks did a great move. He put him in midfield. And he plays well. But I always remember when he got substituted and he walked off, he took his shirt off, just lashed it on the floor. That was Roger up.
People don't like being taken off, right? They don't like being taken off.
But Roger,
no player does.
But Roger was a gentleman, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but he still had that passion inside. He still had the passion inside.
Yeah. But that's what we thought. I was a kid, but that's what we thought. That's what the older lads were saying. That's the passion there, you know. Don't say I'll score. This is what I mean about the cops, Scousers, and Darwin has been getting all kinds of abuse, says Jay, online by non-LFC fans and death threats.
That's way over the top. You know, I mean, players should get criticised if they're missing chances and they're a striker and getting paid a lot of money. That's a different thing. You can criticise them constructively and offer reasons why you could improve, like keep on side, watch along the line. You know, slow up in front of the goalkeeper, take your time, place it in the corner. But to do things like this nonsense coming on X or Twitter, whatever it is, it's shocking, really is. They're not Liverpool fans. They're out-of-towners. They've got to be. I can't believe the Liverpool fans, true fans, would stoop to that nonsense. Honestly.
No. Because as I said, we can criticise. This is the main thing. We can criticise. You know, we did you see that pass by it? That was an awful pass. You know, we
Yeah.
should have put it. You know, we can say that,
Yeah.
but we don't say that. I hate him. He's selling. You know, I remember Jimmy Traore. You know, AC Milan. No, Burnley cup match.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, bloody!
Yeah.
But we got behind him. Then he
Exactly.
goes to Istanbul and kicks one off the line, which would have lost us the game.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%, Frank. And Darwin scored a lot of goals this year anyway. I know he's
Of
missed
course,
100
and assists.
and assists as well, you know, and he'll come good. He'll come good. Stick with him. He's 100% man.
Absolutely. What do you think, JK?
Gotta stick with the guy. We put 2 years into him, but I like his attitude. I just like his character. He's mischievous. He doesn't play football like the way certain fans want him to play, but all in all, he's entertainment. You know,
He's
he gives
entertaining,
100% as well, and that's what football is. It's an entertainment business. You know, I think. Look at Man City, robotic football. Yeah, they win. It's successful. Don't get me wrong, but I think you got to mix it up a little bit.
Just let
But
me
I
go
want
through.
Darwin to stay 100%.
Thank you. Hi, George. I ordered your book, says John Conway.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy it, John. Thank you.
He will. Stability and continuity are underrated words in football. I think the club has been unstable the last few months.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and someone's caused the instability, to be honest. I do know that. As Jaeger mentioned, least recovery time between games, 12:30 kickoffs, 6 plus 5 away. Yeah, you're just going through these statistics. I hate statistics. Indeed. I'll just get another bloody message. Keep getting bloody messages. People keep getting blocked on here, you know. That's a good show. Good show, though. The memories of Alaves 2001 are flooding back tonight, lads. I was completely soaked in one of the downpours in the fan park. My feet were everything with all takes, as George said.
It was worth it, George. It was worth it.
There was a girl, and she was with her husband, you know. And he was sitting down, like, you know, one of them corner things. And he was like this, watching the game. And he must have said to her, go and get the drinks in. And anyway, she got the drinks. And I don't know what goal it was. I forget what goal it was. Could have been Stevie's, it could have been Robbie's, it could have been anybody's. And all of a sudden, you know, the people around, they're all jumping up and down. And she was like, she was soaking wet. She had this big pint that was cold. Oh, they're all jumping around. She was standing there soaking wet. And someone shows her, did you get us berry? Mad.
Happy days, huh?
Question. Has abusing or sending threats ever improved a player's form? Sorry, but if you have LFC at heart, you help a player out of poor form. We are famous for it. Absolutely. That's a good show.
Spot on.
Absolutely spot on.
And that's the Redbird says, my eyes give me all the stats that I need.
Yeah.
And you're right there, Redbird.
Yeah.
You're so right. We know the score. Spreadsheet. Well, if you look at that, look at the you know, he crossed over four cracking balls, you know, could have.
Yeah.
That's right.
George
says Norman, Jeff Twentyman didn't need a laptop or stats. All he needed was his eyes. Am I right?
He's one of the greatest scouts in the game. He
One
got
of the
great
greatest.
players for Liverpool, Jeff. Lovely man and a great scout, you know. And you're right there, Norman.
He brought in some cracking players, didn't he? To Jeff Twentyman. He was our leading scout, wasn't he? Our chief scout.
Yeah.
He was our chief scout. And Norman says, spot on, Redbird. Your eyes, your look. That's why. Have you ever said, George? Oh, that put Darryl's there. I forgot about him. But let me go through this, and I'll ask you. I'll ask you first, George. Have you ever thought to yourself when you've watched a match, and then you've seen the criticism and whatever? Have you ever thought to yourself, what game have you been watching?
Oh yeah. Frequently, I watch games and I look on Twitter, I look on Facebook, and I see some of the comments, and I despair sometimes. I really do, and I can usually tell whether the person's got any knowledge of football really properly,
Exactly.
or he's just a keyboard warrior. You can tell.
Yeah, I've said it loads. What about you, JK?
Embarrassing, bro. It's like, what are you watching?
Yeah.
You know, just like people go. You know, when people give ratings for a player, like someone will give someone 80, the other guy will give him a 40. And I'm thinking, what games are you two people watching? You know, like, come on, mad.
Yeah, you do wonder though. They come on Liverpool fan sites, and I think sometimes they're not Liverpool fans because you can tell. You know, one guy the other day, I looked at his comment and it said, "Klopp's overrated. He's overrated. He's only won one Premier League since he's been here. You know, you're not great if you only win one Premier League in 9 years. You know, I forgets conveniently all the other trophies he's won, who we've been up against, the sort of money they've got. You know, where we've pushed him to the wire every season."
Yeah.
His charisma, his brilliance in man management, and then his rapport with the supporters. Forget all that. You know, he comes out with this nonsense, this rubbish. You know, he's only won one Premiership in 9 years. He's overrated. As I say, I just despair with these people.
You know what Klopp did before we got Klopp in? We had Rodgers. We had no clue. Within that time, Klopp has been with us. He has taken our club value from 300 million to like 5 billion.
Yeah.
We don't need to say anything about Klopp. Like, these stats people should be happy with that stat there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on. So
I'm making players greater than what they were.
Exactly. Bringing people through the academy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Forget about that, you see. And giving them a go.
Yeah.
Giving them a
Elliot.
go.
In a cup final.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And winning it.
Dorothy says, I don't believe any players, all their families should be subject to such vile vitriol in the media. Keyboard warriors who are quick to criticise but keep quiet when they are doing the business. I do feel sympathy for Nunez, who has had to close his media down.
Yeah. We should all close their medias down. They're better off not looking at it.
And FSG brought in, I remember when they asked Rodgers, who was it who was going in for it? And they were asking the players, the people, the managers to wrote dossiers and, stats. And no one had stats. And they got the least choice. And that was Rodgers. He was the least. He was sixth on the list. And they said, can you bring stats over? And he went over with a thing that thick. He went so, I'll never forget him. Does anyone ever remember him when he went over? He went with a poor, like this it was. Of stats. Wonder me, what? Yeah, there's your stats for you. Mr. Rodgers.
Where did he come from, Frank? I forget where he come from. Who was he with before Liverpool? Rodgers.
Leicester. Swansea.
Who?
Swansea. That's what it says on my LFC.
Is it all?
I was sitting with Jimmy Case. I was sitting with him. And Claire Rourke was fronting it. And she asked Jimmy, about Brendan. And she's lovely, Claire, don't get me wrong,
Yes,
a
it is.
lovely girl. And she said, Brendan, what do you think, Jimmy? And Jimmy went, he just said, well, I think he'll do well. I think he'll do well.
Diplomatic.
Ask me. Yeah, of course. Ask me. And I said, we've won 5 European Cups. 5. We're the cream of British football in Europe. We're European royalty. And we bring in a manager. With 1 Premiership year. He was lucky to get in the Premiership. He got through the back door with playoffs. He didn't win automatic promotion. He didn't win the second division, whatever it was then. Champions. I said he never won it. But he got through in on playoffs. So that's the back door. And he's now our manager. I said we should have gone in and got a more experienced manager. We're Liverpool Football Club. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Never liked me after that, Mr. Rodgers. Glenn. What do you think, Darryl?
Can you all hear me tonight?
Yeah, you can. You're cracking up. Crackling. Go on, say something, Darryl.
Hello?
Hello.
Test 1, 2.
Is that better?
That's a little bit better.
Sounds like a frog.
Yeah, I can remember when we bought the Irishman and he brought Joe Allen with him. Joe
I
Allen.
don't understand the words you said there.
I couldn't
Did you understand, George?
No.
Did you understand them,
I think you said Joe Allen.
Joe Allen, yeah.
Oh, Joe. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's at Stoke City, isn't he? Still there.
And when he grew a beard, do you know what they were calling him? Pamo. Couldn't believe it. Pamo.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Alan Palo. Oh, behave yourselves.
Wasn't that the best time?
And as George Seth says, FSG brought us in from baseball. One of our shareholders invented these analytics. A guy called Billy Bean.
Billy Bean. Bean counter.
You couldn't make that up, could you? If you're a footballer, why have social media? They're getting paid enough. Says, I don't know, Jay. Extra income. Yeah, not just play footy. I don't know. I get followed quite a bit.
I think
I don't get paid.
It's meant to be there, like a connection between professional players. Like realistically, fans and players have always had this sort of distance. You see them at the ground, and that's about it. But now with social media, like certain fans can end up having discussions with the guy whose account it is. Harry Kane, Darwin Nunez, whoever and stuff. But I believe we live in a world where people will do things against these people, like, come on, go after the politicians in the way you go after Darwin Nunez, for example. Come on. So I think social media is sometimes used in the wrong way in that way. It's like when you go to a game, I'm not a big fan of like when we sort of start shouting at the opposition players. Like you get certain fans who will start shouting at the opposition players and going over the top with it. A little bit of banter, yeah, no problem. So that's the world we live in right now.
It is, sadly.
And Norman says, I remember George Best saying he was marked out of the game by Roy Evans. Roy was playing left back then. I tell you who Georgie Best didn't like playing against Liverpool. And it was an unknown fella. And his name was Phil Ferns.
Ah, yeah, Phil Ferns. Yeah, I know Phil Ferns. I knew him very well.
And I remember Bestie saying that. I remember him saying it, because they were. I think he went to Fulham or somewhere, or he retired. I'm not quite
just get something, Frank. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. So anyway, he turned around and said, he was asked about, rivals, Liverpool. And he said, yeah. He said, he mentioned Phil Fairns. He said, Phil Fairns. He said, I couldn't get past him. He said, yeah, he was a fair play, but I couldn't get past him. He just knew how I played. He said, I hated playing against him. That was Georgie Best, one of the greatest footballers that's ever put on a pair of boots. Has Darryl gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Right. Do you think Darwin will benefit from a striking coach? Someone like Ian Rush would be perfect for him, says Steve LFC. What do you think of that comment, TK?
Yeah, because when you looked at Ian Rush's finishes, he was right in the corner.
Yeah.
Like, that was his forte, and that's what Darwin misses in his game. Just that. If you can get that ball right in the corner, like Ian Rush goal in the final against Everton, do you remember where he hit the camera?
Yeah.
Bang,
Yeah.
right in the corner. And that was Ian Rush. And that's
Wembley,
what Darwin's missing.
Frank, you were talking about Phil Fairns.
Yeah.
Do that.
Go away. Look at that.
No.
There's Phil Fairns there, look.
Yeah, to your right. Or is it? No, to the right, isn't it, Phil Fairns? To
That's
your
him
right.
there.
That's him, yeah, Phil Fairns.
That's me. That's me in the middle.
That's you in the middle, yeah.
And that's Phil Fairns.
That's Phil Fairns to your right, yeah.
And then the other one there, that's Chris Lawler.
Chris Lawler, God blimey. He looks younger than you there, Joe.
Just when you mentioned Phil Fairns, that was a photograph I was with.
That's a cracker photo, Phil Fairns. Is he still with us?
Sadly passed away now, Phil.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
George, that's what Georgie Best said. He was in it. I don't know whether he retired or what. And he was talking about rivalries, like Liverpool, was the biggest, he said, and it's always has been. And I'm talking about, he was talking about our great players at the time, what I mean? And he said, I couldn't play against a player named Phil Fairns. I don't know where they got him from. They must have got him from down the road and said, "You want to play today? We've got Georgie Best." He said, "I couldn't play it." He
had a number of first-team games, but I mean, he played mainly in the reserves, but he did have some first-team games, and he was kept out by Jerry Byrne and Chris Lawler.
Jerry, and Jerry was Jerry, wasn't he? Jerry was Jerry. I think that's brilliant. Anyway, it's what we were talking about. Steve says, do you think Darwin will benefit from a striking coach, someone like Ian Rush? George?
Yeah. He does need a bit of coaching, because I just keep saying he's impetuous. He runs away from him. And if he could just slow his clock down a bit when he gets in them positions and think a little bit, he could score another 10 goals a season. He gets in great positions with his pace, and he causes havoc. Well, how many times he hit the crossbar, the post, past the post, hit the keeper? I mean, we'd have won the league, I think, if he'd have taken some of these chances.
Yeah.
They were bad misses, most of them, to be fair. And if he starts converting them next season, he's in business. I like him.
Roger. He owns a firm to say Roger, yeah.
With his brother. Hunt Brothers, yeah.
Jay says Dortmund are 1-0 up. Redbird. I don't do Twitter X. It's a shit fit. Thanks very much. Pundits going on about if Darwin and Haaland finishing. But if Haaland had Darwin's energy, pace, desire, he would be the best in the world, says Steve LFC. See?
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be comparing like that.
Different players.
The only players that you can compare and not players outfire players. And it's goalkeepers, because we know that we've got the best in the world in Ali.
Yeah.
We know that. You can't compare them. But you can't compare Ireland and the other fella, Darwin. You know, we could say, what about Slaughter? Jota the Slaughter. You know, what about him?
Yeah.
He's a natural goal scorer, a natural finisher. And if he'd been on the end of some of those instead of being bloody injured,
Just needs to keep fit.
that's all. That's all, George. You're so right.
And when you think about it, if Haaland had Darwin's energy, and it's much harder to have that energy. If you've got it, you got it. If you haven't, you haven't. And I don't think Haaland's got that energy to do that running what Darwin does, and that fast. But Darwin can improve his game by being a top finisher. That's it. Like, it's just one thing he needs to do to his game. Other than that, energy-wise, personality, he's got everything.
Yeah, I know about this. Yeah. Just let me two little comments, right? Let's be first. Darwin was doing great until he got injured. We got to keep him. He'll come good. Thank you, Redbird.
Yeah.
You're so right. What's happened to Anfield Row? I wonder if he's ill. Because he's always been ill.
Haven't seen him.
Huh?
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
I don't know what's wrong with him. Dean O'Brien, I get onto this. A few lads in Dortmund robbed Charlie the Puppet off Dr. Fun and lashes him in a fountain in Dortmund. Dr. Fun said, "We never win without him." Then about 1,000 lads dived in the fountain. What is that?
Dr. Fun, remember him? Yeah.
That's mad.
He was an eccentric, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And just got lashed us in. Yeah, look, how many fans last summer expected our Reds to be 5 points off the top with 2 games to go? Exactly. You'd have bit the hands off of that.
With a cup in the bag and a Champions League place guaranteed.
Exactly. TW, the spreadsheet man, wants the emotion taken out of our team. Ridiculous, says TW.
Yeah.
Yes.
Game's all about emotion.
Exactly. Klopp nearly did the impossible this season. Overrated. My arse, says Redbird. Exactly. Exactly, mate. Good show. Selective amnesia, that, George.
Yeah, 100% out of there. Yeah.
Billy Bean sounds like something you find on a shelf at Lidl. Daryl's cracking up. You need a translator for Daryl. When we're talking about the other fella, Joe Allen, the Welsh Xavi, he called him. He did. He called him the Welsh Xavi. That's when Xavi was playing for Barca, obviously. That miss from Allen at Goodison after Suarez set him up. All he had to do was side-footed in the net. Pirlo wouldn't do that, Brendan.
Yeah, it was some miss.
Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. I want something to talk about. I'm going to make myself a bloody copper. Jay, all players should be banned from social media. They're using it for extra money and forcing contract. I don't know that. I wouldn't go along with that. They just go on social media to their fans. I really do. Or move on. I'm just saying they're paid for what they do. Sell it on a deck chair. I'm not having that, Jay, mate.
They do for hits and stuff. They'll get, like everyone else, they'll get money or whatever it is, you know. So Yeah, Calvert-Lewin in a dress. No wonder he hasn't scored. He scored against us. No wonder he hasn't scored a lot in the last few years.
Right. Kieran says, I just like it when they say Klopp has won one title. Them Manx are saying it doesn't count because we didn't have the fans in the stadium. Klopp is the new Shankly. Slot is not Paisley. Here, Kieran. Absolutely.
I think it made it more difficult to win the league with no fans in the stadium because Liverpool love to have the fans in the stadium. It helps us.
Absolutely. Yeah. George says young fans need to have a reality check on league titles. No one is guaranteed to win it. Some of the greatest never did it, like Bobby Moore and Jack.
Exactly.
Not least of all, Stevie G.
Yeah.
That's a great shout, George. Well said, mate.
Spot on.
And Lee says, I reckon next season will be a good one for reasons that are not easy to define. I cannot say why I reckon 24-5 will be good, but my footy bones feel good about the season. Well, okay.
Fingers crossed, Lee. Fingers crossed. I hope you're right. That would be great if we are.
Bless Lee.
We'll see. There's no evidence of Nunez getting abuse, says Dean O'Brien. After the game, he stormed off down the tunnel and didn't clap the fans, then deleted his Instagram pics of Liverpool. Seems to have spat his dummy out, Frank. He's had more backing than any player recently. He only runs and gets his name sung. That's what he does. That's why the fans love him, because he just doesn't run. He harasses. He runs defences down. He gets there. He takes away players from other attacking players.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like before he got on the pitch, he come on pretty late. He was hugging Klopp. So, what could have happened within the game for him to do that? We need to look at the video. Did Klopp go near him after the game? Because for me, having an argument with a player, another player maybe, or whatever it is, but just weird that one is.
Well, he probably frustrated because he didn't get much time, did he? He didn't come on for too long.
Yeah.
He was only on for the last 20 minutes or whatever, and it's hard. Even then, he sort of laid a goal on, which was marginally offside.
Yeah.
And he had another chance almost put away. I mean, at the end of the day, Darwin can be criticised for the chances he's missed. But like I said earlier, you can't be going telling people that, they're going to get all sorts of abuse. The family's going to get abused and they're going to... It's just out of the playing, You can criticise him for his mistakes, but praise him for his good stuff.
Steven Gerrard was under abuse, wasn't he? He was forever every week.
Yeah, when he was going to Chelsea, remember Istanbul? When Chelsea were chasing him, he got death threats.
Yeah. Well, what happens, it started to become personal, but it wasn't Liverpool fans. And it became personal about his wife.
That's right.
And that's why I don't like anyone mentioning girls.
No.
There's no need for it. No need. That's why I banned someone for that.
Yeah, none at all. No need at all.
No, none at all. Especially had nothing to do with Liverpool either. You don't do it. You keep respectful.
Absolutely, Fran. That's the thing. Got to keep respectful, otherwise it's anarchy.
Of course. Regardless of the disappointment of not winning the league, says Dean, the league or UEFA Cup, I'm proud of the Reds. We've exceeded expectations for me. 4th place on a trophy is more than satisfactory. It's a lot more than satisfactory, to be honest. It's brilliant.
Third place.
It's brilliant. We've had to go against VAR. We've had to go against corrupt refs.
Injuries.
Lots and lots of injuries. Playing at 12 o'clock, half 12 of a Sunday. Having a few days rest. Shocking. Absolute shocking. And then getting cheated by that VAR. We've lost about
6 points at least.
Six or seven
Man
points.
City with a penalty, the Arsenal penalty,
Spurs.
Tottenham thing.
Yeah.
So we've been done by this season, but still, for me, I'm a little bit disappointed because of the position we were 5 weeks ago, for example.
Yeah.
I think getting over the injury sort of situation we had with the youth players was sort of special as well. It was an exciting time, you know, seeing these guys come in, step up, and we thought, okay, cool. There's enough time for Jota, Alisson, and everyone else to come back to push for the title. But Endo, the main guy missing in them games because of that DM position. I'm going to keep going on about the DM position. But for me, that was the most important. That, along with the Klopp news, Edwards and everything, was the reason why we didn't win this season the league.
I mean, the most disappointing thing.
First is sort of disappointing.
Sorry, JK. The most disappointing thing for me was the United game, both United games, because how we didn't beat them is unbelievable. They're such a bad team. We were so dominant. We had so many chances. And you've got to blame the players. You've got to blame the players for that. The strikers, they just could not put that ball in the net. And that would have been a huge win. We'd have been well on the way.
Yep. And now we got beat 4-3 as well, after going 2-1 up. A couple of minutes ago, whatever.
Yeah.
That was shocking, that. It was shocking.
Yeah.
Dean O'Brien says when he said about 4. I don't know why it's like 4, George. I don't know why.
You relegated his one position.
Yeah. And George says, years ago, doing media work, I was chatting to a lad in the Anfield Lounge. Didn't know him, but it was Derek Statham, who was in for a pre-signing medical. Turns out he failed it with high blood pressure. Derek Statham.
I thought he was a cricketer.
Jason's brother.
Are you sure it wasn't the other fella from up the road? Frank Worthy. He failed. He failed. Lee says, disappointed but still hopeful for our future. Well, there you go.
Good man.
There you go. There you go, mate. Well, I think that Derek Statham, Norma says he played for West Brom. Trying to think it.
Yeah, that's right. He did play for West Brom. Was he a fullback?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he seemed to remember him, yeah.
There's another fella who played for Spurs as well, or Chelsea, or Arsenal. And he was good. I wonder if that was... No, it wasn't it, surely. And he's ended up homeless, that lad, today. A drunk and homeless. That's what drinking does for you. You've only got to look at Gascoigne, haven't you, what ended up about him?
Yeah.
It's only a short career, as football.
Very short career.
About the future. You've got to think about the future.
Yeah, that was much more important in my day, Frank, because in my day, you left school at 15, you finished about 30, you got 50 years of your life left, and no training, no qualifications, no education. A lot of the boys fell by the wayside, ended up driving lorries or opening pubs, and they've been playing in front of 50,000 a few years before. These days, these young lads now can retire when they're mid-20s.
Yep.
Norman says, Frank Worthington failed a medical test with us. Shanks calls him a malingering because it was wrong for the women. Good job he never met me then, Shanks. He's ever a lingerer. Left back he played and ended up buying David Burrows from West Brom instead. Steady player Burrows. You never did see
Yeah, I
that.
remember him, David Burrows.
Yeah, but they were the side. They were the team. Be it that you got behind, that you know that they were not going to do anything
Yeah.
with the likes of Burrows. See what I mean? It's just one of these.
I do remember him, yeah, David Burrows.
Yeah, I remember him well. Yeah, David Burrows, the left back.
Yes, blonde hair.
Didn't he have curly hair?
Yeah,
Or just long hair? I don't know.
light coloured hair. I'm sure he had a nickname. I can't remember what it was.
Stadium was decent, says Lee. One has to be wary, says Dorothy, of putting children's photos, etc., on social media. The world we live in. We don't know what has gone on. Maybe he made the decision, or he has been advised to remove his media from other. I reckon you're right there, Dorothy. I don't. But everyone then jumps on a bandwagon as usual. Oh, you know what? His son is here. I didn't even know he was on Instagram or whatever gram he was on. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And John Beresford failed a medical though.
John Beresford, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you hoping for on the next Monday? Without we won't be having a history show. We will be having a little post-match. And what do you reckon? No, we won't talk about that now. We'll talk about that on Thursday. We'll talk about it on Thursday. So, yeah, why are you going on about Burrows? It's just though like talking about Steven Gerrard. Burrows was another one who played for both the Reds and the Blues. Decent left back, won the league and FA Cup with the Reds. He won the league with us.
Can't remember that.
I can't remember that.
I remember what year he played. What seasons he played. Maybe Dean will tell us.
He won the league in 1990. And he definitely wasn't playing left back then.
No.
He was playing in the late 90s or early 90s?
I'm not sure.
1990. Yeah, that's the last time he won the league.
Yeah, 1990.
Squad player. Maybe he's a squad player. But I remember him playing.
Yeah.
Signed from Coventry, yeah.
From Coventry, yeah.
West Brom was a West Brom, he said.
He was playing in 1990, so take that on board.
But I don't remember him winning the league with us. I really don't. And the FA Cup.
Phil Neal will be playing there, won't he?
He beat Everton in the FA Cup final in 1989. That's when you're saying that he was here. And he's saying he wasn't playing left back. He wasn't playing left back. Look. George, were you on speaking terms with Gordon Milne? Because in 1985 he was linked with replacing Fagan. Then we appointed Kenny. Milne was Leicester boss at the time.
Yeah, I knew Gordon very well. Played with him, yeah. Obviously, I didn't see much of him after I left Anfield in 1965. Only at certain functions, ex-players' dinners and things. I wasn't aware he was offered the Liverpool job, but he was a good manager at Leicester, as far as I remember.
Yeah. He was my idol, you know.
He's a good player. He's a very, very good. Shankly loved him. He rated him very highly.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4, yeah. He
And
said
it's
Shankly used to call him a receiver and taker of messages. He'd get the ball from Tommy Smith, he'd pass it, and he'd get it back, and he'd pass it. He continually passed the ball, and he was a receiver and giver of messages.
But you know, his dad was the manager of Preston, wasn't he?
That's right, yeah. A bit like Alan Ball. Them two, Alan Ball and his father, they were like similar as Gordon and his father.
Right. That's right. Why are they going on about Burrows? Stop it. It's not sorry.
Burrows is Brendan.
Stop it. Blimey. Burrows signed late 88, left in 94. In and Staunton rotated left back.
Steve Staunton, yeah, remember him.
In the 92 Cup final.
Thank you.
George Mallinger.
I never missed a game, Darryl. Or a penalty.
How many goals did you get for Liverpool, George?
For all the teams, if you look at the C team, B team, A team, and reserve team, a total of 84. Wow. In the reserves, I scored 34 in 108 appearances.
Okay.
From midfield.
From midfield, 1 in every 3. That's cool.
Yeah, It's a good record.
That's something. Can I dare say?
Midfielder now, I would love that if we had a midfielder.
No substitutes, so it was difficult to break in.
Yeah. But if we had a midfielder this season who scored a goal every 3 games, we would have been sound, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a different system then, though, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. What did you play, like 4-4-2 them days, probably?
No, 2-3-5.
Oh. It was the 2 at the back, the tea lady and the sandwich guy or something.
2 fullbacks. Right back, left back, right half, left half, centre half, right wing, inside right, centre forward, inside left, and left wing. And usually one of the inside forwards was a striker and one of the inside forwards was a bit deeper lying, laid the ball on for the strikers. Completely different system than today.
Oh, imagine a manager brings that system out now. What would happen?
Yeah, imagine playing 2-3-5 today.
Well, it'd be crazy.
George, you mentioned before you wouldn't sell any of them. When we were talking about forwards, Diaz has been getting a load of stick as well. Really has.
Who's he getting stick? I can't understand why people give Diaz stick, because for me, he's a brilliant player. He can take people on, he can beat players, he can make things happen, and he gives 100%, just like Elliott. And you need these players. You need these players to cover the grass, and you can take people on either side, inside and outside. Only thing that annoys me about Diaz is his father keeps chipping away about going to Barcelona. And a lot of these Spaniard lads, they do want to play for Barcelona. He's not Spanish, I know he's from South America, but it's the same sort of culture. And their ambition usually is to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. So I suppose eventually he'll go one of them places if he keeps the form up. I mean, he's not been 100% brilliant for us all the time, but I mean, he excites me when he gets the ball. I wouldn't want to see him go.
Yeah, he's the ball carrier, the go-to guy when we're under pressure, giving the ball. Yeah. He lets the defense get back in shape, and that's what his main job is in the team. It sort of takes away his goals and assists because he's dropping deep, getting that ball, holding off 2 guys, and trying to get down the line and go forward with the ball. And he's one of the guys who does that in our team.
He's missed quite a few chances as well, like Nunez.
Yeah. I just wish he crossed the ball more, where him and Diaz, him and Darwin got a partnership where he's actually crossing the ball, even with his left foot, just getting the ball in. I think that's what football is with us, our wingers, Salah and Diaz. They're not take a man on and get the ball in type of guys. They get the ball cut in. And
I've noticed recently, Gakpo seems to be playing more on the left wing, doesn't he? He seems to be moving out left quite a bit into Diaz's space, interchanging a bit.
Well, what I think, well, about Diaz is the ball always seems to come out for him, and this is what they're moaning about. But they don't think when it comes out to him, he's away. He's taking all the pressure off the defence.
Exactly. Yes.
And no one thinks about that. No one. He gets the ball and he's away.
Yeah.
Taking all the pressure. And you actually see Virgil going like that to the lads, come on, let's move up now.
Yeah.
But they don't think about that. They don't think about that. You haven't a clue. I'm sorry, do you haven't a clue? I haven't a clue.
Well, it's a game of opinion, isn't it, really? But I mean, I don't understand why I've got a problem with him.
And
Yes.
yeah, this is a good question for you. George, would you say Shankly's sides were more explosive and Paisley's sides were more cunning and clever?
I would say probably that's a fairly fair comment. That, yeah, a fair comment. I think Paisley's sides were a bit more scientific. Yeah, a bit more scientific. They had a slightly higher level of all-round skill, I think. Whereas the 60s team were quite dynamic. They created a lot of chances. Peter Thompson on the left wing, we'd go past people for fun. Carlyle on the right, brilliant, get the ball in the middle. And Saint and St. John were just brilliant up front. So, yeah, I think they were explosive, the 60s team. Paisley's team, when they brought in Dalglish, a lot of science and skill. Ray Kennedy, and all the other great players that came after them, the Bobs. That's why they won all those trophies. They had just such brilliant players, and you can't take anything away from Bob. I mean, he was a quiet man, and his book was rightly titled Quiet Genius, because he was quiet and he was certainly a genius.
Absolutely. What do you think? You must have seen old footage, JK. Do you think that, the Paisley side was more cultured, whereas the Paisley side, the Shankly side, you had two of the greatest wingers on both flanks, Peter Thompson and Ian Kelly, going through. You had two of the greatest set-up forwards, Ian St. John and Roger Hunt. Could you imagine? And going. And the only thing they knew was putting the ball forward, never ever sideways or backwards or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Forward, even the Paisley, forward, constantly forward. You want to have a look. I've been watching the little clips they are of the history of Liverpool, and the brilliant, high quality pictures, brilliant.
You've also got to remember, Frank, the 60s team came from the second division. They were being built, they were being created. They were bringing in Yates and St. John and Thompson, whereas the 80s team with Paisley the club already had the reputation.
There, yeah.
So they were a bit more further advanced.
Yeah. And you know what, though, as well? What you're saying that, and you left a player out there. And I used to think he was fantastic. That was Willie
Stevenson. Oh yeah. I did leave it.
What a player! Yeah. Unbelievable player. Willie
Stevenson. Smith, Yates, and Stevenson. Brilliant.
Think about that.
From Glasgow Rangers. Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's a great side.
When we used to play five-a-sides at Melwood, Billy used to shout to me, "Don't waste it, son. Give it to me."
Typical, that, isn't it? Typical.
Don't waste it, Georgie. Give it to me. Give it to me, son. Because he was brilliant. The left foot, it's a bit like Trent. He hit the ball one side of the pitch to the other.
But don't you think, with the likes of the Shanks, the Paisley, and the Fagan, right after the Fagan side, and then Kenny took over, and we always started to replace players, didn't we? Because when Keegan first. You know, who are you going to replace him with? You were saying, everyone said, can't replace Kevin Keegan. He'll get Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny Dalglish.
Yes. Can't replace it.
Unbelievable.
Just
And
proves
the
nobody's
likes,
replaceable.
yeah. And when you get the likes of this, you know, Alan Hansen, Mark Lawrence,
Yeah.
who brought in 2 centre halves, incredible.
Unbelievable.
Bill Neal,
Yeah. Most
Bill Neal,
decorated player in
yeah,
European football.
yeah. And people can't grasp that. Phil Neal. It just take that, and that's how we rebuilt teams. But we didn't really rebuild after Kenny left in 1990. We just
No,
didn't
that was a
really.
problem. That's why we had the barren years.
Yeah, we never really. Then Houllier came, and you know he brought in a couple of players, but they were awful. That Latalak and Congoli and
French lads, weren't they?
Yeah, Bruno Shady. You know, Dave.
Yeah.
Here's the other fella.
Short term, weren't they? Didn't last long.
You know, it is. And that was a big mistake because he played well for Senegal or someone like that. He played for Senegal at the World Cup and he had good games apparently. Salif Diao was the other lad.
Who was that player we had? That lad. He was a terrible, terrible character. He went to Celtic, and he was done for spitting at the fans. What was his name?
Diouf.
No,
Diouf.
El Hadji Diouf. Yeah. Oh, he's a horrible person, wasn't he? And he could have been a good player. He had a lot of skill, but I mean, his character was way off.
Horrible. But he just didn't do it to the Celtic fans. He did it to West Ham fans as well.
Yeah. He was arrogant.
You know, and Houllier tried to say, oh, it's in their culture. But it's not in our culture, Gerard.
Exactly.
It's not in our culture to spit at anyone.
He was awful.
Horrible. But when you look at, you know, that was the disintegration of, like, you know, the 2001 side. And that was the end of Gerard, to be honest. And
Yes.
then you had that Rodgers, he came in, you know, selling Suarez, buying Ricky Lambert, Mario, Everett. Worse.
I'll tell you who was a character. Who was the lad that you called him the King of Frodsham? What was the centre forward that he played in Istanbul? He scored a penalty. Scored one of the penalties in Istanbul. Centre forward. He's playing that night for us. What was his name? I've just lost his name. Scored a great penalty. Side-footed it right in the corner.
The King of Frodsham.
Who?
The King of Frodsham.
Called him the King of Frodsham because he lived in Frodsham. He was a real character, you know. He had to have funny haircuts. And if you look at the penalties in Istanbul, you know, Alonso scored the winner, the final one. I think
You mean Cease?
You remember, JK? He took the third one.
Cisse.
Yeah, Cisse, yeah. He was a character, wasn't he? He lit up the place a bit for a few years.
Yeah, look at that. Kieran says, Dortmund are in the final. Do you think it was hard when it was just champions and knockout when we won it back in the 70s? Of course it was. I think it still should be this way. Of course, that's why no one, not one British team can emulate what Liverpool did under Bob Paisley when he won 3 European Cups with the one club, while you have to be champions of your own country.
Yeah, and win each game.
And we beat the lot. We beat the lot. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
3 times.
And then Joe Fagan did it. Think about that. 4 European cups.
Yeah.
And people, and then, the other fella comes and goes, that's Rodgers. Then Klopp came and he built a side on a shoestring budget. He built a side that won the league,
Yeah.
that won the
And everything
Champions
else
League.
as well.
Everything he won. Everything, including the FA Cup. And
Yeah.
people are moaning, should have gone 2 years ago.
World champions as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they saying, look, cease.
Cisse. Yeah.
Wow. Says Norman, says Steve, Dean,
Yeah, they all know more than me.
George said,
Brilliant.
he says son is a junior at Liverpool now. To know
Yes, yes.
Bolo Zenden. Bolo Zenden. Darryl loves Titi Kamara.
Titi Kamara. Is that right?
If you had just one-off night away in Europe when it was the European Cup, you were out.
Yeah,
If
rightly.
you had just one off night away in Europe when it was the European Cup, you were out. Yes. Yes. That's
Yeah,
what George said before. You had to win the game.
no second chance.
You had to win the game. And that was, and then they brought out the Champions League with 3 teams, wasn't it? Then they went, oh, let's get another team in. It's all money making.
Only be more teams next year.
Yeah. 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 Oh, there's the alley. There's our Romanian friend. Good evening. Good evening.
Probably 3 in the morning over there.
He's just woke up. He's been on another pod.
Me having his breakfast.
Most probably. Dallas, next season is a new format. 8 teams in the group. No home and away legs. Just 7 games.
Yeah. No home and away. Oh, I see. Yeah, league. Yeah,
Yeah.
top 2 go through.
So it'll be like 4 at home and 4 away, obviously, if there's 8 teams.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, eh?
Any tie away in Russia was always tough, like in 1980. I know lads who went there and we beat. Boy. And Dorothy says, Lee, why aren't you on the panel? Are you away? Yeah, he's away. He's in, I think it's Crete. I think he's in Crete. He's in a lovely villa with some Greek actress.
Luckily,
Yeah. He's going shark hunting tomorrow, snorkeling. There's a lot of similarities between Jürgen and Shanks. This is for you, George. The club was a mess when Jürgen came in. Totally different now. He rebuilt Shankly's bastion of invincibility that conquered the bloody world. You can imagine Shankly saying that when he's just said there.
yeah,
Conquered the bloody world.
yeah. He said to me and my dad when we were standing in the centre circle, he said, "You're lucky to be here, son. You're lucky to be here, George. This place is going to be a bastion of invincibility. They'll all come here to be beaten, every one of them. And tell you, they're still coming there to be beaten today." And you're right about Klopp, and you're right about Shankly. They are two sides of the same P, I mean, Shankly loved Liverpool, the fans, the socialism, everything about it. And Klopp's exactly the same. And even the way they play is very similar. Fast, high press. Shankly used to do that as well. Keep possession, don't give it away. And he was a character. He was charismatic, as is Klopp. So, yeah, completely agree. And a big wave of sadness will go over the city when Jurgen leaves, as it did when Shankly left.
Yeah. Ali, late today, my cooking show lasted longer than usual. Must be on the telly doing these cookery shows.
Cooking some goulash.
Yeah, why not? But mind you, if he's a chef, the world's airtime pastas, loads of pastas, loads of bolognese. Do you know if you go to Bologna and you ask for you go in, you're there, and you're in Bologna, and you go to a restaurant and you try to be clever, well, it's bolognese, can I have a bolognese, please? They go mad, and they'd say, no, it's not our cuisine. We didn't do this. They go mad in Bologna. I have Scotland versus Romania programme from 1986. It was Kenny Dalglish's 100-cap game. On the programme, Romania was spelt Romania. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Romania, didn't it?
But when I first started teaching, about the Romans, I said about Romania. So, they went to he made Romania the Romans. That's how they got the name, by the Romans, the invasion. And I always remember the principal saying to me, "It's not Romania, it's Romania." So I said, "Okay, Romania." But you're right there. It is. We did used to say Romania rather. Rias Pauls and Greek tennis Roussos. Bologna are in the Champions League next season. Go away, Andy. Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
There's more teams, isn't there? More teams. So listen, lads, I'll end now. It's been great, George, to have you on again.
Thanks, Frank.
Oh, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, I love
it. Let's just end on this, lads. Start with you, JK.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, LFC. Have you seen the rumours on Klopp going back to Dortmund as a head of football in 2026, 25-26? Wouldn't it be great if he came back in some sort of role, but not sure it will be the same?
For me, it wouldn't hurt me so much if he went there. Like if he ended up at Barcelona and ended up getting them the Champions League, 2 or 3 of them, and I don't really care about their league titles, but Champions League, for example, that's going to hurt. So him going back to Dortmund for me is, and after the result they got tonight, going through to the final Champions League, that's probably going to make him want to go there as well. But what about the guy who's going to win the Champions League, hopefully for them? He'll probably end up being there next season as well. So I think Klopp might have a bit of time to realise what club he's going to go for next. But if he ended up at Dortmund, I think us Liverpool fans will be happy.
Yeah. But I still say he'll go to Spain.
That's what I feel.
Because you don't build, £4 million villa or spend £2 million on a £2 million villa to make it a £4 million one, just to spend a couple of weeks in the summer.
Yeah.
It's
I think he'll take a bit of time off for a while.
I do. He'll take a year out.
Recharge his batteries again.
Yeah.
And I hope he only comes back to Liverpool as a spectator. I wouldn't want him to come back in any role at Anfield. I think once you've left, I think you're best to move different direction. If he goes to Dortmund as a coach or as an advisor, like JK, I wouldn't have a problem. He's got an affinity with Dortmund. But again, I would think if I was a Dortmund fan, I'm not so sure it would be the right thing for him to come back there because he's had his glory there, hasn't he? He's done his job there. Same as he's done here, he can move on with pride. And I think you're right. You'll either go to Spain or become manager of Germany for the World Cup. 2 years' time.
Oh, is it a team? It's team. Much love, Frank Carlyle, George, JK, and chat. I
Hello
hope
there.
you all had a better day than I. I'm here listening. Oh, it's the better now.
I hope you
You
will.
couldn't have had a worse day than me. You couldn't have had a worse week than me. No one has.
Is that
It's
when
been
they're
rough
back?
times. Yeah.
Horrible. Cost me a lot of money as well. Some great players from Romania: Petrescu, Dimitrescu, Popescu, and Hadji. Hadji was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Whoa, great Hadji. Yes.
I remember they had a team. They had a team once. They were all Scu. The end was Scu, every single one of them. Romescu, Demescu.
Yeah.
hmm
That would be Darrow Meriscu.
Petrescu ended up at Chelsea. Yeah.
Do you know, we were playing someone at I don't know whether it was a friendly, you know. I'm only going back a couple of years, George and JK. And it was some mad team with mad names.
Don't know how the commentators pronounce them.
George Sefton, it was not that funny. You know, they scored, and he went, and yeah, number 23. But he did it a couple of times. When he was reading out the the
Yeah.
team. And then go, number one. I mentioned that. I asked him on the show, didn't I, once? And I said, when you done that, he said, yeah. He said, I couldn't pronounce that. I don't know where they were. I think they were Polish.
Yeah. And the
You know,
Greek ones as well. They're hard.
you know, one vowel in the names. You know, you what? What was that, George? I put a line on LFC Facebook page a few weeks ago, and Barry Venison put a like to it. I said we should have gone for Keegan to replace Kenny as manager in '91, as Kenny did with him. What did you do? What did you think of that?
That's an interesting one, isn't it? Well, Keegan was up at Newcastle, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when he had that famous spat with Ferguson.
hmm Well, he did it okay for Newcastle, Keegan.
Was that?
He did pretty well for Newcastle, Keegan.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was an idol up there. They loved him up there. Anyway, they blew that Champions League. They could have won that league, and Ferguson pipped him at the post, didn't he?
hmm He played some exciting stuff as well. Then, like some games against Newcastle in them days were wild. You know,
Yeah, we had some great games. I remember when Stan Collymore scored the winner into the Klopp goal, 4-3. That was a great game.
But Keegan seemed to get players to come and play for him there. Like that's pretty hard. Like who would thought that he would end up at Newcastle playing under Keegan? You know, so Keegan probably had that in him to get players to come there because he had a personality, Keegan, and maybe he could have managed Liverpool in them days. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, he could have done. Yeah, he had the quality, didn't he?
And Norman says, good shout there, John. Good shout. I wanted Hanson or Highway or Mark Burrows at the time to replace Kenny in 1991. All opinions. So we want to Burrows.
He became manager. He became manager of England, Frank, didn't he, Keegan?
Yeah.
And he quit in a toilet at Wembley.
Yeah, he did.
It was a shame not to see Hansen get into management and stuff like that. I think he would have been a top manager. Just a shame we never went into that football world in that way.
He always said that the pressure
Mm-hmm.
was horrendous because he's seen what was going on with the pressure, especially with Liverpool. Especially with Liverpool. Yeah. People think that it's an easy job. People think this fella coming in next season is going to be easy. No. Because he attacks and Holland. Okay,
you got to keep an open mind.
And take over Klopp. Oh yeah, okay. Dorothy says, have you got your telly, Frank? Dorothy came today. And the lads pulled it out of the packaging, put it up, got the remote control, put the batteries in, brand new remote, obviously. I mean, dink. And it wouldn't come on. It was faulty. So they repacked it and they brought it back. So I got my telly, but it went back within 20 minutes. So I'm getting it on Thursday. Let you all know on Thursday. And Ali says, yes, we had some great players in our history. Hadji is the best for us. But Petrescu played long time for Chelsea, many times being captain as well, alongside Zola.
Yeah.
I didn't have like Zola.
Yeah, brilliant.
I didn't have like him. I thought he was
a good team, Romania.
Red Bird, look. How's your new TV, Frank? Are you taking the piss or what?
Tell him again.
It's in the repair shop. Well, it's gone back to the manufacturer. I hope I'll let you all know on Thursday. Looking forward to meeting you and George in person and Frank. Meeting.
I've got it in my diary. Norman, don't worry. I'll be there. 1 o'clock. June the 1st.
Looking forward to meeting you, George, in person and Frank. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. I look forward to seeing it.
I don't know what he wants to meet us for. Well, I know that JK's coming over to meet you as well, Norman. He's flying over. And
I look forward to that, JK. Hope we can link up.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll come over on that day and we'll go up and meet Norman.
Give you a drop of Frank's Irish whiskey. Your hair's on your chest.
Excuse me. I have an old black and white TV you can have, Frank. It's about the size of a mobile phone and ideal for watching. Antennas. Told you about when I went into my Auntie Lee's first month, first called a telly in the whole of the gardens of the Crescent. Goes in. Couldn't get over that. How green Wimbledon was. I was fascinated.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Frankie Howard's head, and he had purple hair. Has he got purple hair? Said, no, it's the way the colour is. Oh, man. Oh, lovely. Right, let's see. We can end on. Look, appreciate all the work you all put into our streams. Thank you. Quality shows every time. You'll never walk.
Thank you, Gene. Thank you, very kind of you.
This, isn't it? Dean, exactly. The great Shanks felt George was good enough to go to Liverpool. What a thing to be able to tell people. Shankly signed. Not many people can say that.
Exactly.
I mentioned that today to someone. I mentioned that. I had a phone call,
Sadly, there's not too many of us left now, you see. That's the problem. There's not too many of us left. most of the lads sadly have passed away or they've got dementia, and there's only myself and Gordon Wallace and Bobby Graham, who's very ill at the moment. Billy Stevenson, who's ill at the moment. Ron Yates, who's desperately ill at the moment, has been for a number of years. So it's only Callie, Gordon, and myself, Gordon Mill. That's about it. Chris Lawler, thankfully.
Yeah, Chris. And Kelly, I think he'll go on forever.
Yeah, Callie is going forever, yeah. Oh, Roger, Kev.
Lil Dimitrescu played for West Ham as well. There was an invasion of Romanians after the USA. 94, some great players. Dimitrescu, yeah, I remember him as well. JK is a great panelist, like listening to him on the 12th Man also.
Oh, many thanks, bro.
He is.
Isn't that lovely?
Lovely.
Thank you, Norman. Thank you, mate. Yeah, and he says, Gordon Wallace was he a winger, George?
He made his debut on the wing against West Brom, the same game that Tommy Lawrence made his debut, and he was only 17, I think, Gordon. He had a wonderful game playing against England's right back, who played for West Brom at the time. Yeah, but he was mainly an inside forward, number 10. Not the number 10 you think of today. Like a striker. Yeah, he was like a striker, Gordon. But he was badly injured, badly affected by injuries, was the only thing that held him back. He was a lovely, lovely player, would have been a big star.
Yeah. There's something which I think is fascinating. Now, I was told this years ago, and I seen Alan in the main stands one day, and I went to go over to him. Then all of a sudden, it was the crowd that came there. He was going into one of the, the suites down at the little corridor in the main stand, big stand. And so and I was going to ask him, and I was going to say, and it's only what Kieran says, Anson didn't want an LFC job. Do you know that the rumour why he left Match of the Day? He won't call Ferguson Sir Alex. He says Fergie, that goes back to not picking him for the 86 World Cup.
Yeah, for Scotland, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask him that because I was told that. I was told that by a reputable person.
Yeah, he should have been picked.
God, he's one of the best centre backs in the world. Never mind.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he was the best.
I hope it wasn't because he was a Liverpool player.
No. No, we can't even say that, really.
No. I don't know why he didn't pick him.
He was unbelievable, Alan Hansen. Incredible player. Jockey Hansen.
Jockey Hansen, yeah. They were a wonderful partnership, weren't they? Hansen, Lawrenson.
Dragusin was stupid to pick Spurs instead of Bayern. Bayern paid him double wages, but his dream is to play in the PL. By the way, I've heard we want Van der from Spurs, Van der Ven from Spurs. Great in small games, but low versus big. That's a good point, there.
Yeah, that Dragusin guy, he came in and against us, they had all their left side sort of missing Uduji, the Welsh fella, and still he never got a game. So, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Right, I've got to finish here because they're all going on now about Romanian players.
Yeah, I've got to get my nightcap now.
And Abji, and that's it. They're going on about. Sorry, Ali, but the Liverpool channel. They're going on about Mark Burrows, who, blimey, that was really pissing me off. That. And Dean says, Quonset reminds me of a young Alan Hansen. Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Got that composure. Not there yet, but got a similar style to Johnny.
Yeah. And he sometimes brings the ball through from the back as well, comes forward with it. With a bit of pace.
I like that Quansah, really do. A little bit more experience. He's going to be one of the.
Oops.
It's okay, says Ali. Not my fault. People remember about Romanian players. I like Nadia Comaneci.
Yeah, she was great, wasn't she?
Oh, fantastic, Nadia.
Yeah, great striker.
Especially, jumping over
High
that
bars.
horse and the eyebrow, yeah, and twirling around it.
Phenomenal.
Nadia Comaneci.
Yeah, Ratatouille as well. Yeah, Romania had some great players. Like when Hadji's son, he started playing as well, and he sort of started off well. Hasn't really shined in the last the last season as well. So I don't know what's happening with him. But Romania, great. The colour of their shirts as well, yellow. You know, a little bit different to everyone else. Like an orangey yellow it was.
Well, listen, Dean, if you think I'm going to say that word, you better ask George Shefton to get it. I'll get George Shefton on the show and ask him to come up with that.
Ratatouille, yeah.
And that one.
Ratatouille and
I can't even
Ratatouille.
read it.
Number 10. Anyway, lads, thank you so much. It's
Right,
been
Frank, I've got to get going, Frank.
all right, mate. See you
Take care,
Thursday.
George.
Lovely to see you both. Yeah, take care. Thanks to everybody for writing in. It's been brilliant. Lovely comments. Great people. Wonderful fans.
Another
Thanks, JK.
Take
See you,
care,
Frank.
mate.
Good night now.
thank you, George. And you've sold another book as well, which is great. Dorothy. Don't know where she's gone. Night, lads. Thanks. Nice all.
Terribly.
Right. Yeah, look at that Ian McCabe. Quancherescu. Quancherescu.
That's a nice name.
Absolutely. Aren't these lads brilliant? I love you as well, honestly. You don't realise. Just a quick one before you go, lads. Just want this. But you'll have to ask Jean. You'll have to ask Jean about it. And it's t-shirts. It's part of our DNA. You'll never walk alone. I think it's brilliant. I think that's one of the best shirts. I was watching something today, one of the banners, and I'm going back years ago, and it said, first time I ever seen it actually, and it said, hang on, let me get it right. No. Our land. What was it? Our earth, that's what it said. Our earth, our land, our Anfield. And I said to myself, if they were to just put, because I know where it comes from, if they were to just put our, not our land, but our realm, this earth, this realm, this Anfield, because that comes from John O'Gorn's speech, Richard III. Great speech, great Shakespearean speech, and then I would have carried on, this teeming room of royal players. That's how I would have carried on. You know what I mean? Where it says this.
You need to get that on a t-shirt.
This teeming room of royal kings. I would have put it a different way. But that wasn't that. I was just added as on to that. This teeming womb of royal players. This Liverpool. That's what I would have put. That's what I would have put. But anyway, thanks, George. I know that you've gone to bed. Leave Darwin Nunez alone. I am a big fan of Nunez. Always support him, says Ali. Night all, see you on Thursday. Great show tonight, says Ian McHale.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Ian. And thank you. Thank you. All the chat. Thank you so much. I'm really tired now. Really am. And that would have been better, Frank. I like that. Oh, thank you, Gene. Thank you. This teeming room of royal place. This Liverpool. Yes. But anyway, I'm really tired. I'm knackered. My neck's killing me. My back's killing me. My lower back's killing me. And thank you so much. Thanks, Frank and JK.
Bless, bro.
People, if you ever need one of these, I think it's one of the best. And it's our jeans t-shirts, but you'll have to get hold of Gene for them. You really have to. I think they'd be great in the summer.
Yeah, but we can sort of link out for that so people can get that t-shirt, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So listen, all you lovely people. JK, thank you. Darryl, he's gone. His phone was awful, he said. And the lovely George. I'll see you Thursday.
Thank
you.
Thanks for the comments. Great comments, as always.
Well, they were brilliant comments, weren't they?
Yeah.
And at least we got through a lot, you know. We got through a lot. Not only did we get through a lot, but try to accommodate everybody. Not everybody, but, you know, we tried to accommodate some of the comments that we could discuss. And no one commented about Diaz, though. Keep him. Now sell him. But that's the way it is.
Yeah, I think if he was on 100 grand a week, he would want to stay. I believe that. Yeah, it's the South American guy. He wants to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. It's like if you're born in Liverpool, you either want to play for Liverpool or Everton. You know, it's one of them ones.
And Jay says, that's our new merch, Frank. Absolutely. I think that's a brilliant, honestly. I'm not just saying that. It's a wonderful, wonderful design. I do just think it's a wonderful design. And you can imagine it, you know, even in different colours. Even in different colours, but I like the white. It stands out more. It stands out. Yeah. Great design, Gene. There you go. Top notch, says there you go.
Nice one, Lee.
But I don't know who's got the time with that Greek actress. He's in Kerrit. Right, I'm going now. JK, I'll see you Thursday. Now, listen, I was going to say, we've got to do a bloody film review on Saturday. Is that all right for you?
Oh, we'll let you know about that one, bro. For sure.
Okay.
I'll give you a call. Yeah.
I'm not doing it Thursday. I've got enough on my plate. Shall I do a Friday morning? I'll do a Friday morning. I'll get back to you on it. You know, if you want to do it on Friday morning, that's fine. I'm not doing it in the night. You know, my back's done.
Yeah, we can. I'll give you a call. We can discuss that time. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So thanks, people. See you all on Thursday night. We might be doing a film review either on Friday morning or Saturday morning. So listen out for it. There's loads of films as well that we need to be talking about. And TV series. Thank you so much. See you all. Thanks, JK.